Let's go
There
another
have been a
MJ
lot of
video.
impressive things that MJ has accomplished throughout his career, but one of the things that I personally think was the most impressive was something that a lot of basketball fans don't even know he did. With that being said, no matter how many times you hear the name Michael
Crazy,
Jordan,
man.
you know it's
Greatest
warranted
ever. He's
simply
still
because he's the greatest
underrated.
of all time. They might
Yeah,
not be listed as the point guard on the scouting report, but let's make no mistake, many of these superstars are controlling the offense as if they're the team's point. What this translates to is simply higher production and higher averages across the board. Typically, when a player is appointed as a point guard or as the team's floor general, his usage rate increases as he naturally becomes a more ball dominant player. This is one of the main reasons
okay.
why players like James Harden had their assist numbers dramatically increase after being moved to the point guard position. It wasn't that he all of a sudden became a great passer, but instead, it
Oof.
was the fact that the offense was now ran through him, which naturally boosted his numbers.
Good point.
As great and as record shattering as Jordan's numbers were, for the most part, he never had this luxury working in his favor and boosting his numbers, like many other
Good
greats
point.
have. Well, that is, with a small exception of the final
I.e.
quarter of
LeBron.
the 1988 89 season. At the time, the Bulls had a 34-24 record and were looking to move up in the standings. The Bulls head coach Doug Hollins noticed how
Doug
Jordan had been
Collins.
having a significant impact in numerous ways on the
Jordan's
court,
first coach.
as he was putting up his best all-around numbers of his young career. This is when Collins decided to make a significant change that was pretty uncommon during that era. Collins moved the 6'6 Jordan from his usual shooting guard position to the point guard spot as a way to pick up the tempo of the offense and allow Jordan to have more control over the game. What ensued was one of the most dominant individual stretches of NBA history. On the very first game against the Seattle Supersonics, Jordan firmly established himself as a distributor as he handed out a remarkable 15 assists. The very next game against the Indiana
15.
Pacers, Jordan had 21 points, 14 assists, and 14 rebounds in only
15
30 minutes of
and
playing
14.
time due to a
Damn.
32-point beatdown. He would have had a realistic shot at the historic 20-20-20 game if he
Yeah,
had
30
played his
minutes.
regular workload of minutes. Jordan remained at the point guard position for the final
It
24
was on
games
his
of the
Westbrook.
season, and in those games, he averaged 30.4 points, 9.2 rebounds, 10.7 assists, and 2.5 steals on 49.8% shooting. To go along with this ridiculous
Wow.
near triple-double average, Jordan had a streak of 7 straight triple-doubles and 10 triple-doubles in 11 games. In the game that
Bro.
Jordan didn't get a
Hold,
triple-double, he
hold
poured
on,
in
hold on.
40 points,
Tell me.
11 assists, and 7 rebounds on
God damn.
61.1% shooting. On another night, in
See, me, even as a Jordan fan, I'm learning this new stuff. Because you mean to tell me he would have been doing the same thing Russell Westbrook was doing before Russell Westbrook? He had, what, how much he said? 10 triple doubles in 11 games, right? Is that what he said?
average, Jordan had a streak of 7 straight
7
triple-doubles
straight
and
and
10
10 out of
triple-doubles in
11.
11 games. In the game that
He
Jordan didn't
definitely
get a
would have averaged
triple-double, he poured in
a triple
40
double in the
points,
season
11 assists, and 7
on higher
rebounds on
efficiency than Russell Westbrook
61.1%
did.
shooting.
Then what would y'all be saying? Come on now.
On another night, in a 15-point victory against the Blazers, Jordan dropped 34 points, 17 assists, 7 rebounds, and 6
17
steals on
assists,
50% shooting.
6
Those
steals,
17
7
assists were
rebounds.
his career high. This
Wow.
game against Portland was also the beginning of an incredible streak that I rarely hear anyone mention. Over a 12-game
Yeah, I don't like to
stretch,
talk about it.
Jordan had at least 10 assists in every single contest. To put in perspective,
And here's another thing that people like to say, that LeBron was a better passer than Jordan. I don't know. I'm not too sure about that because before LeBron moved to point guard and started averaging higher amounts of assists in his later years. He was only averaging one more assist than Michael Jordan was for his whole career. And I don't know if he's still averaging now. He might be like maybe 2 more. But the thing is, LeBron is more of a point guard than Michael Jordan ever was. He's more of a facilitator than he was. He has a different role. Michael Jordan was primary role was to be the scorer. People were trying to pass him the ball so that way he could shoot it, rather than the other way around where LeBron, he's trying to pass the ball to shooters. Jordan was the shooter in his offense, in his team, and got 6 championships because of it. So, when they talk about LeBron was a better passer, he had to pass the ball more. That's his role. That's what he contributed to the offense. Now he could shoot the ball more, but guess what? Was he as good a shooter as LeBron? I'm sorry, as Michael Jordan was? No, we all know that.
Perspective just how incredible that 12-game streak is can contest. A 12-game stretch, Jordan had at least 10 assists in every single contest. To put in perspective just how incredible that 12-game streak is, consider the fact that all-time great distributors and stat stuffers like Oscar Robertson, Russell Westbrook, James Harden, and Jason Kidd have never had a streak longer than MJ's of games with at least 10 assists.
What?
To put it simply,
Damn.
Michael Jordan
No
wasn't
way.
just great at the point guard position, but he appeared to be playing like he was the greatest point guard of all time. This was just one end of the court, though. Despite spending so much energy on offense as a point guard, Jordan still had the responsibility of locking down opposing perimeter players, and unlike players who use their offensive load as an excuse for their lack of defensive intensity, Jordan still brought it on the defensive end every single night. Not only was Jordan third overall in steals per game, but he also finished that season on the NBA's first team all-defense. He was 5th overall in defensive win shares, 1st overall in defensive plus-minus, and finished that season in the 5th spot for the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year. Jordan and the Bulls made it all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, where they were eliminated in 6 games by the bad boy Detroit Pistons. After yet another defeat at the hand of Detroit, Chicago's management decided that it was time to shake things up and fired Doug Collins from his head coaching position. He was replaced with the legendary Phil Jackson. Thus,
baby.
The triangle offense was implemented.
I read his book, 11
Jordan's
Rings.
days
Great
as a
book.
point guard were now behind him.
Great book.
Jordan's numbers at the point were utterly insane, but let's be honest, his numbers earlier that season, before he switched positions, were pretty nuts too. The major what-if question that this video raises is what if Jordan had remained at the point guard position throughout his career? How would that have affected his career numbers? Well, at the very least, we can make an educated guess based on how Jordan's numbers adjusted during the 1989 season.
Overall.
You'll see that from his 57 games as the shooting guard to his 24 games as the point guard, his scoring decreased by about 9%. His rebounding increased by around 17%, and his assists dramatically increased by a whopping 35%. So now, if we take those same percentages and apply a whopping 35%. So now, if we take those same percentages and apply them to Jordan's career numbers, we're now looking at averages of 27.4 points, 7.3
That's what they say about LeBron all the time. 27, 7, and 7.
What I can't help but notice is how Jordan's career numbers as a point guard are strikingly similar to another all-time great who consistently ran his offense like a quarterback. And that is LeBron James.
There we go, 27,
With MJ's
7,
adjusted
and 7.
averages, their career numbers are now nearly identical to one another. Obviously, over time, this change in play style could have affected other aspects of Jordan's game, like an increase in turnovers, potentially more injuries due to his increased workload, and maybe he even wins less championships as a point guard rather than playing within the system of the triangle offense. It's impossible to say for sure, but at the very least, this perfectly summarizes how a player's perception, production, and impact can dramatically change with a simple switch of a position. So what do you guys think? If Jordan had remained at the point guard position, how would it have ultimately affected his career? Would we have been referring to him or Magic Johnson as the greatest point guard of all time? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Thanks for watching as always. Make sure to like and subscribe for more basketball content, and I'll see you guys in the next video.
Man, that was a great video. Yeah, but like I was saying, 27, 7, and 7, that would have been his numbers, and that's what LeBron averages as we look at his stats. And so yeah, so you see his career stats, 27.2 points per game. Now, let me increase this. So 27.2 points per game. We got assist numbers, 7 assists per game and 7.5 rebounds per game. Look at how many times he let Michael Jordan led the league in scoring. Take a look at this, y'all. Look at how many times he led the league in scoring. 37 a game. Look at this. Leading in steals, leading in minutes, leading in games played. Now let's go back to LeBron. One time he led the league in scoring, 30 a game. One time he led the league in minutes on his second season. And one time he led the league in assists. And, played 82 games one time. And okay, so 3 times he led the league in minutes. I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Help me get to my next 1,000 subscribers ASAP. I am trying to get to 100,000 subscribers in the year of 2024. So I appreciate you guys' help. And make sure you share this too, because there's a lot of false information and propaganda going on out there in these streets, especially on Twitter. Anytime you see that somebody on Twitter talk about Michael Jordan isn't a good 3-point shooter, share this video with them. Clip the video, put it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Help me get to my next 1,000 subscribers ASAP. Appreciate you guys for tuning in, and check me out next time.